few minutes we're going to get started. Play a match up to 5 points. So whoever gets to 5 points first wins the match, and the time control will be 4 minutes plus 2 seconds for the whole game. So after each and every move we get an additional 2 seconds. And it's pretty nice because it prevents these situations where one player is flagged even though he's like completely winning. So I like to play with this increment to make sure if a player is winning, he can win even if he's low on time, right? So I know John is also already live, and I'll just make sure real quick that I'm online and you can see me, you can hear me. So just let me know in the chat if you can see me and hear me clearly, and then we can get started. So I'm just waiting for your feedback real quick on that, and then we're ready to go pretty much. So it looks like on Chess24 I'm not on there yet. So we're just going to wait a few more moments. I'm not sure, it's still showing my announcement video, and I'm not sure if it's automatically supposed to switch to the live stream. I'm hoping, because otherwise I have to talk to Chess24 and see if we can figure it out from there. So maybe I do want to talk to Chess24 real quick and let them know that my live stream, at least as of right now, is not appearing on Chess24 yet. So I'll just do this real quick. Okay, I think we're gonna go ahead and get started. So let me challenge John. To a 4 minute plus 2 second game. And challenge. So I'm hoping to do much better this time than last time, because when we played back last year in October, he won very convincingly with 5-2. So I want revenge. I want to do much better, obviously. So we'll see. So I've sent John a challenge. Now we're just waiting real quick until he accepts it. Which should be any moment. He said he's ready to, and now he has accepted challenge. And there we go. I'm playing with the black pieces. This is all looking good. First move. Okay. Just double checking, he's starting out with d4, and I'll play. He wishes me good luck. And let's start. I'm gonna play my Nimzo, and let's see if he prepared anything. Oh, it looks like he's going to play rather calm here and avoid any mainline discussions. For now at least, playing bishop f4. It's a rather solid variation, and he's not going into any great theoretical discussions for now. So I know this line is possible. Now I believe just castle, and then sometimes people try to put a knight on e5. Okay, he plays bishop d3. I play queen e7. And I want to play e5 now, so that's why I played queen e7 to prepare e5. Now he plays knight e5 to prevent that from happening, right? So it makes a lot of sense. And now the question is if I can just play knight d7, or if there's anything wrong with that. So I'm kind of worried about queen h5, but there's also f4 after knight d7 maybe. So I have to keep an eye on these moves. Okay, let me... Should I go knight d7? Okay, let's play knight d7. I think it's possible. The question is, what am I doing after f4? Oh, he just takes. Okay, I pre-moved that. Now it looks like I've pretty much equalized. I guess he wants to go f4 now, because otherwise I can just play e5, and then I'm certainly not worse. No, he takes on c5, okay. I'm not sure what he has in mind here. Wow. Did I fall into some kind of trick? Wow. I fell right into his opening trap, I assume, here. That's nasty. Okay. I do have to take this one, that's for sure. And now knight e4. And knight g5 is coming. But, hold on. I have queen b5 and queen d3. Oh, he has e4 then. Ah. But still I should go for this. Because at least... Could also play queen c4. Queen c4, queen b5 probably doesn't matter. Queen b5, knight g5, queen d3, e4. And then I have to do something about a checkmate here on h7. So it looks like I just have to move the rook anyway. Queen d3, e4. Then rook d8 probably doesn't help me much. Okay. So of course he can at least give a perpetual, obviously, but he would probably go for more, probably go queen h7, and then queen h8, take the pawn on g7, and in the end win the rook on... no, he just castles, okay. Just castles. Maybe knight e5. I do like knight e5 because I cover f7, and if he goes for this variation now I can place my king on d6. And also I have some ideas with knight d3 now. So multi-purpose move, defending and also creating some threats with knight d3. So if he goes for this, yeah, he goes. Does he go for this? Oh, now he could play f4, which I didn't see. That's unfortunate. But f4, maybe I have knight f7 now. Yeah, knight f7 is possible after f4. And now, is he just gonna go knight f7 here, or he has to defend against knight d3 for sure. Well, knight f7 is no good. Oh, knight e4, I missed. Ooh. That's a killer. That is a killer, yeah. Okay, king c6, he takes on e5. And I think the right course of action is to resign in this game. He got me there. Very, very strong performance by John. So I'm sure to not repeat this next game, this trick, which I wasn't familiar with, I have to admit. And then, yeah, I'm not sure if I could have improved my play at any point. I think it's probably pretty difficult to begin with. I was thinking to go, well, queen d3 here, but then there's e4, and he's blocking this diagonal. And now it's gonna be kind of the same story, but he probably just is gonna play rook d1 here. But maybe, I mean, it's also not pretty. At least I'm hindering him from castling at the moment. But it's also not pretty by any means. Strong game by John to start off the match, and he takes the lead, and I'll challenge him for a rematch. For next game. So, and this time I'm going to play with the white pieces, and I'm hoping to strike right back. And also have to think about what I'm going to do with black in the next game if he decides to repeat this exact line, because I certainly don't want to fall into this trap again. Alright, so we are on with the next game, and I'm beginning with e4, and I'm expecting Scandinavian. No! I thought he's Team Scandi, but he is playing something else. He's playing the Paulsen. Okay. So let's see what he has in mind here. It's a pretty solid variation for black. Playing with d6. And white can get this Maroczy setup here. We're playing c4, this Maroczy bind, taking control of the center. And quite comfortable play for white, but on the other hand, it's not easy to break through and to get through to the black king. And g6. Interesting. He played knight bd7 first. This is unusual, I would say. And I'm wondering if I can take advantage of that with some very direct play. And I'm thinking about f4 and f5. And I think I'll just go for that because it looks interesting. The alternative, is that clever here to go f5? Actually not sure. might just go knight e5 or something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure about f5 anymore. I think I should rather play it differently here. But now this move f4 doesn't make that much sense. But maybe I'm threatening to play e5. Maybe. Certainly a move that's in the position at some point. So he probably wants to play b6. And bishop b7 next. So b6, do I have e5 or not? He can take and play knight g4 and he has a lot of pressure on this pawn. That's the main problem. But I think I can play e5 now. I was hoping I could play e5. But after considering it again, I don't think it's a good idea. So let's play a little bit differently here. Okay, knight c5 was a threat now, so I move my bishop out of the way. And I'll come back to this variation with e5 later when we go over this game a little quick afterwards. What's interesting, but it felt like it was not good for me or good enough. Okay. Let's put a rook on the d file and aim at this d6 pawn. And okay, I'll just also play rook e1 for now. Not quite sure what I'm doing next. It's kind of a waiting position. I have to make some moves here to not get behind on the clock too much. You can see I'm already behind like a minute, so that's not good. So let's now play the bishop back to c2 to open up the d file. Knight h5 could be possibly a problem now, which I didn't see. Because my pawns are a little bit vulnerable. But knight h5, maybe I have bishop a4. Okay, let's just play bishop e3 for now. Bishop a4 I'll keep in mind for later. Just to ask some questions there. Knight c5. And okay. We're kind of both shuffling around our pieces here. Hold on, but maybe I just blundered a pawn. He could take on c3 now, I guess. On the other hand, he would give up his dark squared bishop. But probably he can do that. Blunder my e4 pawn here. So maybe I should have played knight d4, knight d2 instead. So he takes. But I do have some compensation along the dark squares, I would say. And he plays this. Okay. I would like to keep my bishop pair because there's at least one trump I have, and also queen takes b6 is now a threat. And if knight c5, I can probably just take on d6. So maybe knight f6 back. Whoa. d5, okay. Oh, rook takes c4, I missed. Missing too many moves here, guys. That's not good. Rook takes c4, good move. Otherwise it would have been much sweeter. Now I can take on e4 with the rook, and he does, and the f4 pawn is a little loose, to say the least. Let's play knight e5. Oh, my time. Hold on, I have to definitely speed up here. Okay, knight takes f4 with knight d7, which should be pretty strong. Knight d7 is in the position anyway, so he has to look out for that. Maybe he'll just move his bishop. I wouldn't be surprised if bishop a8 was happening here. Yeah, good move. Good move. Now you can just take on b2. Yeah. And okay, let's see what's going on here. Queen a7, but now probably just queen b7 back. Oh, he just sacrificed the exchange. Wow. Okay. That's I'm not sure if that was necessary. On the other hand, this looks pretty strong. Interesting. Knight e2. And knight c3 now. But then if queen takes d4. Shit, gotta make some move, but this is horrible. And, it's just no time. Like, what am I supposed to do here? This is ridiculous. Okay. Okay, we can exchange queens if you really want to. Kind of consolidating a little bit here, I feel like. I'll take this one. But I'm probably just lost. Or close to lost. Shit. Yeah, I don't really have many useful moves here. Just moving back and forth more or less. And he's just waiting too. And okay, I can repeat here, I wouldn't be too unhappy. Okay, let's get out of this. This is just horrible to play. He's enjoying himself, that's for sure. Knight d3. Yeah. No, he got me finally. Damn it. Okay. Well done, well done. Time management was the main problem here. Pretty crazy suddenly. I want to go back real quick to this point in time when I was thinking about playing e5. Where was it? b6. So here e5. That was my original idea. But yeah, you can probably just take on e5, yeah. And now take on d3 or just play bishop b7 and get my queen, and he's definitely not worse here. So that was the problem with that. And then okay, here after knight e5, yeah, here he sacrificed the exchange. Probably a very good practical decision because my knight was causing some trouble. Now d4 is hitting g2. But if I have maybe a few seconds more here, I would play rook d2, I'm pretty sure. And I don't think this exchange sacrifice was good actually, because after rook d2 I can just take on d4. It's so easy. So really what I have to do is play faster. That's some big thing. Play quicker. Okay, let me challenge again, and I'm again with the black pieces. Oh, hold on. Okay, I really have to apologize. It turns out that I somehow put my stream on private. I don't know how that happened. And well, it's good that we figured it out now. Better late than never, but of course I have to apologize. My fault. You missed the first 27 minutes of action, I guess, from my side. You can rewatch it later if you want to. It's not going too well so far. I'm behind 0-2. John has played one excellent game in the first game, and then the second game was just a crazy time scramble, and he took that point as well. So now I'm hoping to get back. Alright, so let's go. Let's go. I'm ready to strike. Okay, he goes for the same line. I have to do things differently at some point. So we'll see at which point I'm gonna play differently. Maybe I'll play with b6. How about that? Maybe I'll play with b6 here. And definitely not gonna fall for any opening trap here, I'm hoping. So we're just gonna keep it solid, not lose out of the opening this time. And just see how this develops. I'm wondering if we can go knight c4 here. Now he goes queen e2. Probably wants to go e4 at some point, which he can. That's fine. just gonna shuffle around my piece a little bit. And yeah, the question is, how do I react to e4? Okay, how about I play knight f8, bring my knight to g6, it looks like a decent square for the knight. In case if he goes e4, I can also have an eye on this square on f4. Plays bishop b5, probably just wants to annoy me a little bit. Which is reasonable. Okay, I'll just bring this knight back to d7. If he goes knight c4, maybe he can go knight c4 now. If I go a6, he goes bishop a6. Okay, I'll go to c6. I like to keep my bishop here. Now goes a4. So he wants to go a5. Okay. I'll just go knight g6 for now. And yeah, he can go a5. I mean, doesn't bother me that much. He goes b4. Interesting. So I don't want to take because it opens up the c file. So I think I'll go e5 now. And if I open the c file, then his bishop on a6 is quite annoying because I can't put a rook on c8. So I go e5 and we'll see. It's slowly heating up a little bit. I'm not so happy about his knight possibly coming to c4. And also, did I blunder my bishop? No, I didn't blunder my bishop, but it looks like I have to exchange it maybe on f3. The bishop d5 I might actually blunder with e4. So I think I have to take now. Yeah, that is a slight downside of this whole variation. E4, yeah, I have to take. And now he has the light squares under his control pretty much. And the bishop is coming to b7. Maybe. So my hope is that bishop b7 doesn't work now because of knight h4, but probably it still works, but would make it a little bit awkward for him. Because he has to play like queen c6, and would make it a little bit awkward. And now at least this guy isn't coming to play right away, but also I'm still having problems here. Queen c7 is queen c6. Yeah. If he goes knight c4, now I can at least go e4. Well, can I? Well, not really, actually. Yeah, so knight c4 just might be pretty strong. I guess after knight c4 I have to go queen e7. But then he might have knight takes d6 already. He goes queen d5. Okay, I think I'll just retreat to open up knight f6 again. but maybe you can just take an e5 now. No, he goes knight c4. Okay, I'll go knight f6. And maybe he plays queen c6 now. He does. Okay, I think I have to sacrifice the exchange. Everything else looks pretty pretty sad. So yeah, I have to sacrifice the exchange here, otherwise just my position collapses completely. And this looks like it gives me some... Oh, bishop c7. So you force my he forced the queen exchange here. Or he also has knight e5 now. Yeah, knight e5 is good. This is another really good move. John is playing great chess here. Now I can just take on d7, yeah. My only plus right now is that this bishop is out of play, but it's obviously not enough for anything. And I'm also kind of lacking moves here. Can't really move my knight because then knight e5 is coming. So I just have to sit while he can slowly improve his position. And oh no, I allowed this exchange. Yeah, this I can resign. Alright, another good game by John. Didn't really give me any chance here. I mean, this whole plan of bishop b5, maybe I just have to allow the bishop exchange here, because the way it went here when he just went a4 b4, I couldn't really put up much resistance. So it looks like I should probably take the bishop here and play this position. And yeah, white is better, but it's maybe not that much. Then in the game, really, I didn't... I think positionally maybe it's just lost. I have to give my bishop on f3 here, because after bishop d5 he's going to win my bishop. So yeah, and here it's just, my position is just so weak on the light squares that I didn't really see a way to get out of this, more or less. He just put some more pressure on my pawns in the center, and my pieces don't have useful squares, and then I'm just collapsing sooner or later. Alright. So now I'm playing with the white piece again, and we'll see if he'll repeat his his opening from the second game where he played the Pausen. And I think it's I should win one game soon, or this live stream is gonna be over pretty soon, because I'm down 0-3, and if he just wins 2 more games the match is already over. So I don't know what much to do. He's playing good chess, and I'm missing some stuff, but also I'm not really at least in my 2 black games, I didn't really get out of the opening to begin with, so that was also kind of a problem. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm sure I can I can take at least one, so let's go. Let's go, guys. I'll go for the same line again, and then I'll improve it a little bit, and I know where to improve it already. Queen e2 first. c4. Knight c3. And now I'll go for this other line, which goes like knight f3 here. And rook d1. Now bishop c2. And put some pressure on this pawn on d6. That's the whole plan here. So if he goes b6 here, I might be able to play queen d3 already. I'm not sure. I might be. So he plays rook d8 because he says, well, that would be unpleasant. But now I can go bishop f4, and he cannot react with knight e5. So he goes knight e8, which is a little bit passive. And okay, let's just play a useful move here, rook c1 for now. And he had to put himself into kind of a passive position here a little bit for now. So he plays b6. And how do I go from here? Yeah, I'm not sure. This might be a little bit strange here, actually. I'm not sure if this is any good, but I'm trying it. We'll see what comes out of it. The point is just to grab the pawn on d6, but I don't know if I really want to give up my bishop for that. So you might just play bishop b7. Yeah, knight c5. I thought I can just play queen d2, and then kick maybe this knight out with b4. Okay, and this time this is actually an intentional pawn sacrifice. So you can take on c3, you can take on e4. But I think I would have pretty decent compensation for the pawn. Because once again his dark squares, okay, he's going for that, so kind of mirroring the second game here. Now, do I want to take on e4? Well, let's try that. Play knight g5. And I can maybe follow with queen h3. Or c5 here. c5 also looks interesting. Okay. Let's bring the queen over and then play c5. Sometimes there might be even sacrifice on e6, but a lot of things have to come together for that to work. There's one problem here, which is he can take and play e5, and then takes d6, rook takes d6, which is very sad, but that's life. Yeah, e5 unfortunately works. Because of my weak back rank, but he didn't play it. This also seems to work, unfortunately. Hold on, I can play c6. That should be pretty strong. And now queen to a3. Put some more pressure on this pawn. And this, I have a strong pass pawn c6 now. So I think I have decent chances here. His dark squares are just really weak. Now bishop g5 is a threat, as well as the pawn hanging on d6. So you probably go knight b5. But then I can just go queen b4. Now bishop g5, a4 is in the position. I think I have really good chances. I should take this one home. But John is a very resourceful player, so I gotta be careful till the very end. Why does he play bishop g4? Okay, I can go f3, I can go knight f6. Let's play it simple, knight f6, knight takes g4. And here, pretty much, he's still holding on. He is still holding on. Okay, now let me push. So I have to look out for knight e2. Knight e2 is annoying. I gotta make a move. It's actually still not easy to convert, unfortunately. But maybe I'll get there eventually. He is a tricky player, that's for sure. This is crazy. Wow. Am I seriously? Shit. Now I can just play d2. That was lucky. Let's give a check first. What am I doing? God damn it. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? Well, I hope that was great entertainment. I almost lost it, which was a completely winning position. I think it started out when I would say around here. I don't have to go knight f6, knight takes g4 to begin with. I can just go f3 and let's take on d8 here and play c7. Take on d6. That's it. So simple. So even if you know you're winning or you see a really good continuation, you always want to make sure that there's maybe something better, so you just don't have a more difficult life afterwards, right? Because as it turned out in the game, he could position his knight on d4, and it was not easy for me to break through. Then in the end, of course, I'm winning again after this whole turmoil, which was probably one of the craziest games I've ever had. But here I'm winning again, and then I'm letting him advance. Yeah. And maybe this is a draw already. He's just gonna play rook e1. Unless I can do something like this here. Maybe I can play rook d8. Yeah. That just wins on the spot, doesn't it? Rook g8, rook h6. Okay. Let's get back. And I'll challenge him again. He is a resourceful player. Knight f3 was a good shot. Maybe I can just play king h1. Okay, now it's too late. So I'm thinking, what am I gonna do against his setup? Let's play d5. Okay, now he plays differently. He goes for main lines, I guess. And I go for a triangle setup. Alright, we're gonna go for this stuff, which I haven't looked at in a long time. I think bishop d2 is a good move here. e5 is also possible. Now it's gonna be a little bit quieter, at least. Guess it's kind of a French now. Okay, so he plays a3. He really wants me to take. And I think I'm gonna go b6 and play bishop a6. Probably is gonna take on d5 now. I would expect that, yeah. Okay, I'll take back. So I want to castle, but then after bishop d3... Oh, I could have played this actually. I was afraid of bishop a6, bishop takes h7 check, and then this. So now I can still do it. Because bishop takes h7 doesn't work here. Because I can take knight g5, king g8, queen h5, bishop d3, and I've covered h7. Okay, so you can probably just castle, which he does, and I want to bring my queen to a more active square, so I want to play bishop takes d3 and queen f5. Almost blundered my knight here though, that's unfortunate. I missed queen takes f5 and g4. Yep. Yeah, he should probably go for this, and he does. Because he's a good player. Yeah, and now knight h4. Phew. Oh no. this is pretty horrible. Yeah, this whole queen d7, queen a5 was not a good idea. That's for sure. Okay, I have to go f6. No, this can't be good. I can go e6. Yeah. Yeah, you can just go e7, knight f5, knight e6, collect my exchange. This game is also over, unfortunately, guys. Not putting up a good fight here against John, who's playing especially with the white pieces pretty well. I mean, this game I just missed one thing and then my position was already over. Just one move played too quickly. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm completely paralyzed here pretty much. Okay, you can take on e8 or you can wait. Maybe a4 is even a smart move here to prevent knight b5. It takes, doesn't really matter. Because I'm not gonna get rid of this pawn. But maybe I can, you know, at least pretend like I'm doing some stuff here. But if I go to d6, he can just go play rook e6 probably. Well, we'll find out. Yeah, I don't see any moves. He's just gonna play rook e6. I don't see anything better to retreat. Okay, now at least I can aim for e4 to get to e4. And I can at least get rid of this guy. But now just c4. Yeah. Yeah, just king e3 and rook c6 seems easiest here. Or rook c4. Doesn't really matter. Well, now it kind of matters a little bit because you can take an f6, but yeah, doesn't really matter either. a5. Yeah. Okay. 4.5 to a half. It's been even worse than the first match so far, and honestly at this point I don't have much hope that it's gonna get much better. Both my white games I certainly could cause him much more trouble, so I want to at least win one game here with white. So let me try and do this. In this game there's not much to be said really. I just played one horrible move and it was pretty much over here, queen f5. So this whole queen d7 is just nonsense. Should probably play c5, something like that. I didn't like knight g5 and all these things coming here, so but probably I should do something like that, or maybe just play c5 immediately. Yeah, something along these lines. Alright. People are asking, why is Nicholas getting crushed and saying, disgrace for the GM title. Thanks guys, appreciate the support. Well, why am I getting crushed? John is just playing much better than I am really here. I was winning in one game completely and had good chance in another game, but overall it's just been very clear. So that's all. John is playing much better than I am today. Alright. Okay. He'll probably repeat this line. No Scandinavian today, what's going on? Okay. I'm gonna take a slightly different approach now. Okay. So this time I played without c4. I know there's this idea to play with b4, I think. But maybe I just messed it up, because now he could just play b4 himself. But I think this is how it goes. b4 followed by a4 here. And put some pressure on the queen side. Okay, and a4. How do I want to take? Rook takes or knight takes? Both look interesting. I like knight takes better. So if the rook takes a4 is knight b6. Also my knight on c3 feels a little bit loose to begin with. And now it feels like I'm restricting him pretty well. I can maybe follow up with c4. So he plays d5 now. Okay. Very principled answer. Maybe I underestimated this. e5 looked interesting, knight e4 takes and c4, but this also looks pretty interesting because here's some... I thought there's some ideas with knight takes e6 in the position here, but maybe I'm overly optimistic. I don't know. The pawn on b4 is hanging, that's the only problem. Yeah, I was looking at c4 for a long time, like sacrifice on e6, but they all just didn't seem to work out as I want them to work out. Okay, I think I just have to go for this and see what happens. Yeah, maybe this whole sequence of f5, f6 was not that great, I'm not sure. Yeah, probably just knight f4, something along these lines. Yeah, knight f4, a good move. f3 might be a good move here. Just to weaken my pawn structure in front of my king. Knight e5 is also pretty good. Still keeping this as an option, also threatening to get my bishop. Okay, I think I have to go bishop e4. At least now that the knight has moved, I have the square on c5, so I can finally bring my knight back into action. Knight g6. Just a5 probably, yeah. To undermine my knight on c5. Okay. Oh, what do I do after a5? a5 is good. I can play c3, yeah. Oof. It's also a slightly strange move. Maybe... I want to go knight e7, but you can just play rook e8 now, which is very simple. But maybe I can play queen c4 then. Now he just plays this. Okay, knight d7. Maybe he just wants to sacrifice the exchange or allow me to take on f6, which I don't think he'll allow me to do that. Because then my knight on f5 would be a monster. Yeah, that's what I thought. He likes to sacrifice the exchange, and it's fairly reasonable. Okay, I'm going to double my rooks. So how many pawns does he have? 2. So it probably shouldn't be worse here, actually. No, I'm definitely not worse here. Okay, play rook d7, queen c3. I just want to give my king some space. He just needs half a pawn anyway to win the match, so okay, he exchanges this pair. Oh. Oh well. Oh well. That's it. The rook is hanging. Okay. What can I say? 5.5 to a half. Not even Jan Gustafsson has beaten me that high. So, congratulations to John, who once again crushed me completely. Yeah, I don't know what much to say. He played very good with the white pieces. When I had white, I had some chances. Also in this game a little bit, not too much, but a little bit of chance, but just way too many bad moves on my part. Yeah, it is probably just equal. If I don't blunder my rook in one move. Yeah, this probably should be a draw. I mean, I can still try a little bit. But this should probably end in a draw with normal play by both sides and not me blundering a rook in one move. Yeah, I would have loved to put up a better fight and also play a bit longer against John. We played 6 games, I believe. I only made half a point. But that's life. Sometimes goes well, sometimes not so well. And today was certainly not my greatest day ever. And, well, that's it. I hope you guys still enjoyed the stream. We had at least one really exciting game. The 4th one, where I was on the verge of beating him, but he defended and I didn't find a killer blow. Alright, I wish all of you in Europe a good Saturday evening and all of you in the US a good afternoon, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.